Okay, this is the unboxing of the production-proof prototype for Guild Academies of Valeria. This game should be in backer hands before the end of the year. With a little bit of luck, November, maybe October, we'll see. Looking at the box here. Okay, we had a little edit there. Sorry about that. So as I was saying, the back of the box looks good. I don't see any obvious errors. There's a little crease on the cover there. You probably can't see it. Doesn't matter. It's not worth seeing. It's not nice. I'll talk to the printer about that and make sure that doesn't happen. Any other copies? Probably just a function of how they packed the production copies when they send it to me. So let's take a look at the insides. As I mentioned, this is a unboxing video. I don't know what's in here, so if there's any problems, if there's any screw-ups or errors or surprises, we're all going to see them together. This game is a bit on the heavy side. Let me take a look real quick. It is 5 pounds, 8 ounces. So it's a hefty sucker. All right. Guild Academies of Valeria. Right on top here we have the dice bag and the professor's bag. Those will hold the tokens and dice accordingly. We have the quest cards that are used during the game. We have the solo cards that are used. Under this, we have everything else. So, first off, there's some baggies, so you can bag it as you like. Of course, we also produced the custom insert through Folded Space that will fit all of this stuff in a nice organized system. And I don't have that yet, so I can't show it to you. But it's an option for you if you want to get that. We have a whole bunch of wooden tokens, and we'll go through those in a minute. And we have a whole bunch of dice that we'll also go through in a minute. We have the game board. We have the rule book. We have 1.5 billion pieces of punch board. So, there we go. That all sounds right, component-wise. All right, so let's take a look at the game board, since it's the biggest thing. Clear space. Ugh. All right, out of the way. Okay. So, there it is. Pretty. All the art, of course, is done by the Micho, so including this lovely city map. We have all the dock areas down here. We have where your stewards go. We have your professor draft line. We have the quest draft line. We have the quests completed score track. We have the draft line for the favors, the draft line for the monuments. We have all of the council. Upper council is purple. Lower council is green. On the left upper corner here, we're going to have the prestige tiles. There'll be 4 of those for drafting. Down below, we have the town tiles. There'll be 4 of those for drafting. And on the other side, we have the guild tiles, and there'll be 6 of those for drafting. We have the round markers, so you know what round of the game in. 4 rounds and you're done. Yeah, everything's looking pretty good. The dock powers, the banking action. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Board looks like a winner. Now, let's see the tiles. Okay, so let's see if the puzzle pieces work. So there are the player boards. Each player board has 2 halves in the punch boards because they were too big to put as a single piece. So you match the color of the banner at the bottom here, and assemble the pieces, and you have your player board. And there are 5 different, or 5, 4, I forget now. 1, 2, I think 4. This is the 4-player. Oh yeah, you got blue and yellow and purple and red. Yes, 4 players. Sorry about that. A little bit of a brain freeze on that one. So you got that. Then each board also has favor tokens and monument tokens. Those are the backs of those. All the guild tiles have a green back. So each of these has a certain number of guild tiles, and those will be punched out. It looks so much bigger in person than making them on the computer. And those, as you build your game, as you build your academy, you'll be playing these down. And whenever you get a complete pedestal, then you get to draft a monument. And there you go, you put the monument on there. And this is an instant power, so you can leave it undone, but once you use it, you flip it upside down because that action has been used. Okay. Get over there. Stay there. All right, that's how that works. And there are tons of different tiles. There's like 36 guild tiles and I think 20 town tiles and 16 prestige tiles. So lots of variety, lots of differentiation. You will be able to do as you like. Now each of these tiles, I'll show you on this one. Where's the light at? There's the light. So each of these tiles has a certain professor that's required to operate the tile, certain student dice that are required to attend the class, and when those things all match up, then you get certain rewards, like 2 knowledge, 2 magic, and 1 victory point. And every round that you are able to staff and fill this with students, then you can get that same reward each round. This piece up here tells you what guilds this tile belongs to. It belongs to the Soldier Guild and the Holy Guild. Okay, that looks good. The tile looks nice and crisp and clear. The pedestals all line up nicely. So yeah, I'm pleased with that. Good job. Okay, so we will put this away for a moment. And we'll just do a quick scan through some of the other tiles. This one is mostly shadows. This one is mostly soldiers. This one is soldiers and workers. All workers there. Then we're into the town tiles. The town tiles have a gray backing and a gray back on the back of the tile. Yeah, and the town tiles, this one's mostly holy tiles. This one is a mix of shadow and soldier. Excuse me. And these are shadow or soldier and worker. Then you start getting into the prestige tiles. Prestige tiles have a purple background to them, and they have a purple back. So you can easily distinguish which tiles are which. Now, instead of doing player reference cards, we had extra space on the punch board that we couldn't use for tiles. So what we do is we have player reference tiles. So these tiles, one is the front and back, shows all the different icons and symbols and things. And the other one is all the different phases of the game. So you can flip it back and forth and read that as you go through. Everybody gets a pair of reference tiles, so they all have an idea, a better idea of what's going on when they're playing the game. So, yeah. That looks clear. The text is a little bit small. Took a little bit to put it all in there. But in the end, I think it works very well. Okay, that looks good. And so then those are the rest of the prestige tiles and the complete 4 sets of the reference tiles. Okay, I'm pleased with that. That looks nice. All right, what else have we got here? These are the quest cards. And the quests on the back, you'll see they have the guild they belong to. Each guild has its own stack of quests on the draft line. And you do the quests, and then you put them in order. You put them in order based on the victory points required for them. And then everyone everyone has the opportunity to do this one. When it's been done, you take it off. Then they do the next one, etc., etc. So those look good there. And then these are the soldier quests. Big owl bear there. Yep. So those all look good. Just not getting good light. I should have lit this thing better. Again, not a professional videographer here. Okay. Soldier quests. Shadow quests are next. Spiking the whiskey and amaranth. That's good. Playing thrones. Okay. And then the holy quests. You get to assemble your very own flesh golem. Wouldn't that be fun? Okay. Very good. All right, so the quest cards look fine. These are the solo cards. So when you play solo, you've got your bait, if I remember correctly. You're playing against the AI opponent. In this case, the AI has 4 cards that you shuffle up each round, and then you turn it over and you do that action, that dock. You can only use each dock once per round, and you've only got three stewards to do it with. So there's always going to be 1 card you don't use in a round. So each one has the different dock, the different action explained, how it works, and that's how you do that. And then there's also explanations for the different phases other than the action phase for the AI, and it tells you how to score that. So that looks fine. And those reference cards are double-sided. So those look fine. And all this is covered in the rule book, of course, so my feeble memory might not get it quite right. Dice. This is a dice drafting game, so we have dice. We have the shadow dice, which are gray. We have holy dice, which are blue. We have soldier dice, which are red. And we have worker dice that are orange. So each of these dice there we go. Each of these dice has a number and a guild symbol on it, so you can keep track of its value and what guild it belongs to. As you play the game, you will be trying to get your dice up to a value of 7, which is one beyond what the dice can show. So you'll be advancing the dice throughout the game. And when they get to above 6, then you'll move them into your graduation section, and then they'll go out on quests. So I'll examine the dice more closely later, but first blush, they look fine. So, and then the dice will all go into the dice bag. The one with the dice on the dice logo on it. I love the sound of a dice bag. Very nice. Okay, so that's your dice. Next up is the professors. The professors are in the same colors as the dice. In fact, all the guilds all work that way. The guild colors always match up all the time. So you got those. There are also these 4 magenta colored professors. These are your headmasters. These are the ones you start the game with. They're wild. They can go anywhere they need to. The other guild professors are restricted by which classrooms can use them. Okay? So these are player pieces. So you're going to sort these with the player pieces. All these are professors, and they're all going to go in the professor bag. And you will draw from the bag to fill the draft line, both for dice and for professors. So you're going to get random draws out of these bags. So there you go. Now, what do we got here? Okay, general game components. You got your first player token, little laurel and shield there. You've got your round tracker. Remember I pointed out the round, shaky. Putting out the round markers on the game board. The round tracker will sit there and then move to the next round, etc., etc. Okay, so that's those. That's the first player token and that. Then each player has a gold tracker and a magic tracker. Those go on their player boards. So you see the little extra shape there and the little extra shape over here. Those are your starting positions. So you start the game with your magic on 3 and your gold on 6. Okay. All right. And again, each player will get a pair of those. Like that. Okay. Then we have all the other player components. So, stewards. Each player starts with 3 stewards of their color. We have a crimson, a teal, a chartreuse, and a plum. Those are the player colors. And each player has 3 of that token. Those are the ones they send to the docks to do their actions each round. And there are 4 docks and only 3 stewards, so you have to choose which 3 dock actions you want to take each round. So, sort those out a little bit. Okay. You can bag all these up at the end. Got it? Here are the score tokens. Again, these are in the 4 player colors. Besides colors, we also have icons, so that if you have a colorblind issue, hopefully the icons will help you keep track. And those icons are duplicated on all the pieces. So like the steward and the score token both have that little 3 spiky icon. Can you see that? I can't tell if it's focusing or not. But anyway, they both have that same icon, so you should be able to help figure out which ones are which. Let's see, here are the quest tokens. And because, let's see, 1, 2, 3, that's interesting. Because of a production error on my part, you're only supposed to have 1 quest token, but you've got 3 for each player. Maybe we'll have to come up with an expansion somewhere that uses the extra tokens. So don't lose them. Don't throw them away. But typically, you're only going to use 1 quest token per player, and that just goes on that quest track. Let me see if I can figure that out. There you are. This quest track on the game here, and as you advance, you're going to move that up the track to show what extra powers you get based on how many quests you completed. So, yeah, that's something I need to use the other 2 tokens for as an expansion. So, then we have the torch tokens. Each player has 4 torch tokens because it is conceivable that a player could complete 4 quests in a single round. So, as that implies, each time you complete a quest in the round, you put 1 of your torch tokens on it, which means you've completed that quest. You can only complete each quest once, so in the future, you can't complete that quest until it's all cleared out. So, each player has 4 of these torch tokens, and again, it's got the little player icon as well as the player color. So, helps with the color blind pipples. There we go. And finally, we have the banner tokens. Banner tokens are what you use to put onto the counselors. So you can put your counselor there, and later on you can move it up there. You cannot go directly to the upper council. You have to start through the lower council. And the lower council gives you powers that you can use to adjust things like make dice wild or make professors wild, that kind of thing. And the upper council is where you get different types of scoring. So you definitely want to get your 3 tokens to the top if you can, because that's where you're going to get a lot of bonus points. So don't linger too long in the green area. So those also have the player icon as well as the player color. And that's that. Okay. The last thing we have here is the little bonus pack of cards. There are 8 extra quests, 2 for each of the guilds, and that gives you a little bit more variety. You can replace the 2nd and 3rd guild cards with these if you like. They just give you different variety of, I don't know what the proper light is, different variety of required dice and more options on the rewards you get for completing that quest. Okay? And there are 2 for each of the guilds. So there's 2 workers, 2 soldiers, 2 shadows, 2 holies, and then a reference card to tell you how to use it. Okay, that's everything that's in the box rather. And then there's the rule book. This has got everything you need to play the game, either solo or with 2 or 3 of your best buddies, or 1, 2, or 3 of your best buddies. Let's see where you can see everything. It's got the game board set up. It's got all the components listed, all the different phases of the game. Stuffed in the middle here is the guild rivals rules. These are the solo rules. It's just a 1 sheet. So it's there like that, stuffed inside the middle of the rule book. And then lots of examples of all the different scoring methods and token placements, and how all the upper council members do their scoring, examples, how that works, and then a quick reference sheet on the back. Very good. Yeah, I think this turned out pretty good. I think the assembly is correct. The components are correct. I'll take a look a little more carefully at some of the items, but I don't see any problems with telling the printer to press forward. So the production schedule and fulfillment schedule, etc. They are anticipating being done with all of the assembly and printing and assembly and packing by the end of August, I think. That means they'll go out into the shipping lanes probably first or second week in September. We allow 4 to 6 weeks on the ocean, so that'll probably put it toward the middle or end of October when they reach the shipping hubs. And then fulfillment in November should be right on track, right on schedule as planned. I'm very pleased at how this project has turned out, and I hope you will be too when you receive your copies of the games. Thank you very much, and thanks for your support. Bye-bye.